Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Poor Martin Short, he got COVID after SNL 50. Steve Martin says the SNL 50th COVID curse is real. And you may recall Colin Jost joked about COVID spreading during the party and having all the world's entertainers in one room. Looks like it happened on Thursday. Steve Martin said he and Martin Short will have to postpone upcoming shows in Knoxville and Durham after Martin Short got COVID. He included a picture of Martin Short kissing Maya Rudolph backstage and wrote, "Maya had COVID, Marty has COVID. I wonder why. The SNL 50th COVID curse is real." Steve said, "Sorry for the inconvenience. I think we'll be funnier then anyway." Colin Jost had joked on the show, health experts are facing increased pressure this winter in face of the outbreaks of COVID, the flu, RSV, and nanovirus, which they're calling a quad-demic. So we did the smart thing and packed every beloved entertainer over 60 into one tiny space. During that same special, Adam Sandler did his song. Remember that one? He alluded to Kanye West during his song. One of the lines in the song, 50 years of finding out your favorite musician's antisemitic. You may recall some of Kanye West's social media posts this week. You may also recall Kanye West was selling swastika t-shirts on his website. West went on Twitter and posted, "Adam Sandler, thank you for the love. After further reflection, I've come to the realization that I'm not a Nazi." Adam Sandler has yet to respond to Kanye's post as I record this. On TV tonight, the 56th NAACP Image Awards. Dave Chappelle being honored with the NAACP President's Award. The President's Award honors individuals for special achievement and distinguished public service. Previous recipients include Usher, Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Spike Lee, Lauryn Hill, Rihanna. The awards are live tonight on BET and CBS. The broadcast will highlight efforts to support communities in Altadena, Pacific Palisades, and Pasadena affected by the recent wildfires. There were some previous awards given out on the NAACP Image Awards YouTube channel. Awards included Keke Palmer as host of NBC's Password, Marlon Wayans for his guest performance on Peacock's Bel Air, and Jamie Foxx's Netflix comedy special What Had Happened Was. USA Today asked John Oliver what was it like popping on The Daily Show. I think it's about 2 weeks ago now. Sometimes I gotta sleep stories. I don't know if you know this. SNL turned 50 and we had a lot to talk about this week. Oliver said, "It felt like going through a portal to when I first came to this country in 2006. It was amazing and fun just how seamlessly I felt like I fit in there. I got to walking in thinking, oh, I could be a correspondent again. There's still so many people that work there that were there when I was there. It was almost like I lost a decade of my life. It was like I never left. It's a nicer office now physically. That's the main difference." So was he actually there? The clips I saw, I thought he was on a screen. John talked about current times and said, "Sometimes you can feel better just by reminding yourself that things have technically been worse." It's not the most uplifting message. I'm not sure I've ever said anything that sounds more British. That's a British kind of optimism. Remember, things have been worse. They're not good now, but they have been worse. It's like the British version of a sports coach's speech to a team. Yes, you're losing 7-0, but you could be losing by 20. Now get out there and do your best. At least you know it's built on something real. Friday did a big story with Mindy Kaling. And Mindy, you were 24 when you joined The Office. What does that stage of your career mean to you now? Mindy said, "As I get older, I realize how lucky I was with that job. It was my first job from doing off-Broadway theater. I wasn't in the WGA. I didn't have health insurance. So there was just the basic needs that needed to be met. That would have thrilled me. But then the idea that I would work on the show for 8 years and do this intensive deep dive in comedy writing and comedy acting and be around Steve Carell, Greg Daniels, BJ Novak, and Mike Schur, just learn from them for so many years. My bar was so low at that time that just really feels like such incredible luck. Was learning how to write and act with really wonderful people that I'm still friends with. It completely set up my career. What's so great about The Office is that it includes those people, but it also is a very different fan base in terms of who's coming up to me at the airport. A 15-year-old boy will be like, 'Hey, it's Kelly from The Office.' They just love the show, and it's so pure." Back in 2010, Russell Peters was developing a sitcom with NBC. The LA Times asked him, "Hey, what happened there?" Russell said, "The industry never really understood me. I think they saw that I was successful, so they're like, oh, we need to get on top of that so we can make money too. I was the first Indian comedian that big, and they wanted me to have that American Indian experience, but the Indians in the United States are the wealthiest minority in the country. And in Canada, Indians do well, but growing up, we were all blue collar, so I can't relate to these people where it's your dad's a lawyer, your mom's a doctor, and you live in this gated community. Where's the struggle? Where's the empathy?" The industry's changed in the past 15 years, but it still has a way of viewing things. They still try to make me be more Indian, say, you've got to have the accent. I don't have an accent. If I do an accent, it's not going to make sense. There's 1.5 billion people you can go pick with an accent. Why do you need me to fake it? I was just up for a role in a sitcom. I had signed the contract to be the husband, but I got a call saying they're going another way because they want the guy to be more beta, and they said I was too alpha. And that guy was going to do the accent, too. They always want you to be the weaker minority. I boxed. I do jiu-jitsu. I'm an alpha. I'd baited myself down for the role, but they wanted somebody more beta and more Indian. It's not going to be me. I've been in this too long to have nights where I go to bed and regret something. I can't sell out this late in the game. I've got kids now, and they're going to see my choices. A lot of these guys, when they get into the corporate world, their nest egg becomes so solid that their fear of losing that supersedes them being sharper on stage. Did I make a lot of money? I did. Did I lose a lot of money? Absolutely. And I'm back to being a regular guy again. You know what I mean? When life hits you, you say, I'm not impervious to life. The LA Times was curious how he lost all that. He said, I'm not broke, but I'm not living that high life I was living 10 years ago. I did dumb things. I would buy things I didn't need. I would take private jets when I didn't need to because I could. And then the pandemic kicked me right in my nuts and told me who I was. But I've always been a people person. I'll do the same regular things I would have done if I hadn't made it. I still go to Waffle House. I went there yesterday. I had Jimmy John's for breakfast today. I can certainly do the nicer things in life, but I just need something to eat for breakfast. I need a coffee. Neither here nor there. I saw a headline. Comedy legend Jim Jefferies to bring Son of a Carpenter tour to local area, blah, blah, blah. Comedy legend Jim Jefferies. Can we tap the brakes a little, please? Not everyone is a legend. Jim Jefferies is really funny. I've seen him live. He's great. Seems like a cool dude. Is he a legend? How far down the list is the legends list now? How about way above average, hilarious comedian Jim Jefferies? That's fair, but legend, tap the brakes, everyone. Jury Duty is coming back. Remember that show? Season 1 of that was a lot of fun. They're going to attempt a season 2. Sources report that Jury Duty's second season will not be a jury, but will be in a corporate retreat setting. Apparently, it's already been filmed. Are you in LA tonight? Why don't you check out the Chinese stand-up comedy scene? Louis Liu is the producer of the stand-up comedy series Re-Educated, a series of Chinese stand-up shows and open mics in LA where roasts, heckling, jokes that land, and those that don't are all part of the experience just like they would be in English. Liu said a bunch of his clients wanted to do comedy in Chinese, but there weren't any opportunities, so he put together his own show and said because we had food, people showed up. Some people probably showed up for the comedians. In March of 24, they had their first ticketed stand-up show at a 140-seat comedy club. The first half of the sold-out performance was in English, the second Chinese. It was bilingual because there weren't enough Chinese comics around. Liu said, after our first show, our comedians were telling Louis, it's great that we have a show, but we're running out of material. So they asked him to add free open mics to the programming because having a small live audience really helps them test out the material. He explained the approach. When you come to a new country, you learn about the new things in the new world. You essentially get re-educated. Lating Chen is a comedian who explained, we feel like when we speak different languages like Chinese and English, we switch our personality. We become another person. That's interesting, right? Anyway, if you're around tonight, Re-Educated Comedy. English stand-up from 7 to 9, Chinese stand-up from 9 to 11 at the Happy Humble Hub. Tickets start at $28.52. That's your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. Try to get even more people to listen. I'm not scraping here. We've been having a really good 2025, but I like doing the show, and the more people that listen to it makes me happy.